Hello, I'm Aaron, and today we'll be going over 7th grade lesson 2. So, how about we try number 3 first? Fill in the missing number so that the quantities in the table below are in a proportional relationship. If you remember, a proportional relationship means that the ratio will be the same for every column. So, if we look 1 to 4, one dog has 4 legs, 2 to 8, then we have our blank here, 3 and a blank, and then 4 and 16. So, since it's proportional, each one should simplify down to this original 1 to 4, one dog for 4 legs. 2 dogs to 8 legs, and if you divide by 2, you'll notice that it's the same thing. Then we have this 3 here. So, an easy way to go and make sure it's proportional is to multiply by 3. So, if you notice, 1 to 3, you multiply by 3. So, we can do the same for the 4. 4 times 3 is 12, and that will give us our answer, B, 12. Then we can try number 4. Which ratio is equivalent to 2 to 6? A, 6 to 2, so that's flipped, but that doesn't mean it's equivalent. B, 3 to 1, C, 1 to 3, and D, 1 to 5. So in order to solve this problem, we will want to simplify this ratio. You'll notice that both numbers are divisible by 2. So if we do that, 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. 2 to the 6 is the same as 1 to the 3, and if you notice, that will be number C. Sorry, letter C. So our final answer for number 4 is 1 to 3, C. Then we can try 6 to 8. So for 6 to 8, use the graph below. First, who earns $10 per hour? Then all the other questions are similar with different slopes, different numbers, $20, $5. In order to figure this out, we have our names on the graph. So Mia, Joseph, Sonia, and Michael. And we want to find the slopes of their lines. So for Mia, if you look, we can use this endpoint and to find the slope. So the slope is the change in y over the change in x. It starts at 0, 0, which makes it easy for us to calculate. And if you look, it ends at 80. So that means it changed by $80 over how many hours? 4 hours. And that means every hour she was earning $20. This won't give us our answer to number 6, but it will tell us who was earning $20 per hour. So for number 7, we would write Mia. Then we can do the same to Joshua. He ended at $60 per hour. So 60 in 4 hours is the same as $15 per hour. No one here is asking for that, so it's only 10 and 5, which means we don't need to worry about Joshua. Sonia made $40 in 4 hours, and 40 divided by 4 is, of course, 10. And that is actually one of the answers we were looking for. That was number 6. So we can write Sonia for 6. And then finally, Michael's the only one left, so we know that Michael was earning $5 an hour. If you wanted to solve for how much he was making, we could do the same as everyone else, where he was making 20, and he made that in 4 hours. And 20 divided by 4 will give us 5, which is the answer we expected. Moving on, we can try evaluating several expressions. So for these problems, we'll need to remember Pemdas. And we can use Pemdas to know what order to solve our equation in, or expression. P stands for parentheses, then exponents, multiplication and division, and then addition and subtraction. So on number 1, 33 minus 8 times 3. If you go from just left to right, you'll end up with 33 minus 8 is equal to 25, and then 25 times 3 is 75. And this would be the wrong answer. This is not a good answer because it doesn't follow PEMDAS. And if you notice, multiplication comes before addition. And that means we have to do 8 times 3 before we subtract. So if we were to do that, 8 times 3 is 24. So we have 33 minus 24, and that is 9. So our final answer for number 1 is 9. Then, moving on, we can try number 2. 8 minus 2 squared. In Pemdas, exponents come before subtraction, so we can do that first. 2 squared is 4, and then 8 minus 4 is, of course, 4. We can also try this harder looking problem, 6. Luckily for us, it's multiple choice, which simplifies things. So, what is the value of 3 bracket 20 minus parentheses 7 minus 5 squared? Then, if you look at PEMDAS, it's always parentheses first. So we look inside the bracket. Inside the bracket, we find another parentheses. So we will do that first. 7 minus 5 is 2. And then we have exponents next. So 2 squared is 4. Then there's nothing else besides this 20 minus 4. So now we have 3 parentheses 16. And then, if you remember, a number next to a parentheses is the same as multiplication. So 3 times 16 is 48. And if you look, that's number A, or letter A. Moving on, we can try some word problems. About number 3. If you know how tall you were at the age of 2, you can estimate your adult height in inches. Girls can use the expression 25 plus 1.17h, and boys can use the expression 22.7 plus 1.37h, where h is the height at the age of 2. Estimate the adult height of each person to the nearest inch, and we can use a calculator. So first we have a girl, and that means we use this second equation, or the first equation, pardon me, who was 34 inches tall at age 2. So if you write out the equation and plug in 34 for h, we can just simply type this into our calculator to solve it. 25 plus 1.17 times 34. And if you type that into your calculator, you get a final answer of 64.78 inches. Then for number B, or part B, we have a boy, so we're using this second equation, who was 33 inches tall. So just like before, we can plug in 33 for h. 22.7 plus 1.37 times 33. Then we just type this into our calculator, and we get a final answer of 67.91 inches. Except we forgot one step. It says to estimate the adult height to the nearest inch, which means both of these need to be rounded. So 64.78, 7 is greater than 5, so we round up to 65 inches. Similarly, 9 is greater than 5, so we round up to 68 inches. Thank you.